Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of This Might Not Go Well. Episode 35. We in here. You already know what it is. It's Brezzy, Papa Sazon.
It's Slick Grayson here, and also wanted to give a big middle finger to the one called Brezzy, aka Poppy Sazon. Hoe ass nigga.
You a hating ass nigga over here, putting this shit on wax over here. But anywho, before we get this episode started, please follow us on all social media at This Might Not Go Well. If you have any branded deals, business opportunity, email us at thismightnotgowell@gmail.com. You know what? Fuck you, Slick. How you feeling this week?
How you gonna say fuck me? How? And it asks how I'm doing. You're a hoe. I'm fine. I'm content. I wish we'd have did this earlier because there's some fuck shit that could have taken place afterwards. But whatever. I'm here. I mean, I live here, but I'm here.
Come on now.
I'm cool. You know, I went to the dentist this week. Got my pearly whites re-pearlified. That was fun. It wasn't fun. It sucked, actually. But the dentist was cool. Nice little Jewish guy. Went outside yesterday. Saw a lot of old friends from college. It was a good vibe. And, yeah, now I'm here. Potting, you know, about to get it popping real quick. How are you doing, ho?
Man, I don't know. This week been a tough week, thought. I just can't, you know. This week, man.
You don't get on with your soliloquy. What happened?
The world, man, showed so much love on Pop Day this week. You know, happy birthday, Pop Smoke. You already know what it is. Can't get a gunshot. The Hood was a movie, a zoovie, whatever these young kids call it now. Like, my whole block was lit. Like, the whole cops was out here. They flood Seaview Park. So I'm like, yo, I like to see when the Hood comes together and what we can do when we are in one unison. So I love seeing the love. But besides me, ain't really much to do with this week. This week was alright, you know, nothing too crazy. Yeah, that's about it. But speaking of Pop Smoke, that's our first topic, man. Now that, you know, the fans got all up on Steve and Victor for that whack ass album that he produced.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh man. He dropped a 4-pack, you know, with the announcement that, you know, July 30th, the deluxe will come.
So this deluxe, is it like a whole new album? Is he just gonna attach like 10 songs like he did last time and like try to like bolster the streams?
Both. He's going to put the new Top Shotter there with Eli Frost. Free Eli Frost, by the way, and Chef G and Fredo Bangs and all of them. But he's going to put the original Top Shotter. He's going to also put some original songs that was there that he switched the beats on. Fabio is supposed to be on this deluxe album. But I would like to give credit because the 4-pack that he just released had on point like OP, G Herbo. He had a bunch of songs that they was actually asking for. So I will apologize. Let me come back on this platform because as soon as it dropped and I listened to the 4 songs, I immediately hit the group chat and was like, you know what? I have to come back on the next episode and apologize. I apologize, Stephen Victor. I apologize, Rico Beats. You know, I kind of redeem yourself because y'all put Dread Boo on the stuff. Hopefully in his deluxe, put some more New York rappers on here.
Did they put it like on YouTube? That's what I was trying to see where they dropped it.
Oh yeah, they put it on YouTube, and I think they have it on streaming service, but I heard it on the official Pop Smoke YouTube page.
Okay. I'm pretty sure they'll probably take those and bundle them to the deluxe, and they'll probably give us like 4 or 5 other tracks afterwards. So that makes sense.
I just know that all of it is going to be available on July 30th, which I'm excited for.
Another week. I can deal with that. That's cool.
I mean, like, but you know what? I have to, you know, give you credit, Slick. You was 100% correct. They should stop releasing albums. I better not hear a lot of Pop Smoke album for at least 2 or 3 years.
Not 2 years. 2 years. Give it I mean, you know what it was? At this point, you can get them while it's hot. But I think if you have to compromise the artistic nature of the artist and like go against what their primary wishes would have been, that's where you kind of have like that blurry space. You feel me?
because I feel like, you know, they were so rushed, and he was talking about how the reason why the album sound like this, Stephen Victor, he was tweeting, was basically a lot of these samples couldn't get cleared. A lot of these beats, they couldn't reach out to the people that, because originally some of the songs that he made with Eli Frost, the Top Shotter beat, I think they stripped it off of YouTube or something like that. So when they had to reach out and get it, they couldn't get it in time, and they had to rush to get the album done.
Had a deadline
because this week was his birthday, so they were trying to get it before his birthday so they could celebrate it on Pop Day. And I know now they have a foundation for him, Shoot for the Stars Foundation, which they was delivering a lot of basketballs and apparel to a lot of kids throughout New York City this week. So, I mean, I understand it, but you was rushing to make the album, and we obviously saw that.
A rush job never goes the way it's supposed to go.
So, I definitely agree with you. Yo, I'd rather wait the 2 or 3 years. I'd rather you sit down, really get the vocals together, really get the beat together.
Drop some singles here and there.
And that's it.
I'm pretty sure with the amount of vocals he has, there's a lot of artists that, like, with the New York drill sound is still so big.
That's
like,
a fact.
I feel like they could find some vocals. Like, oh, you got pops. Let me go through these. Like, send me a 10-pack of vocals so I can kind of go through it. And he's still going to get money off of that. Because who's to say a big time, like, what if Adele wants not saying she would, but like Adele's into like the grime scene over in the UK. What if she wanted to put pop on it?
And she fucking Rich Paul too, so she fuck for black.
And she was with Skepta before that. You feel me? So I'm just saying, like, that could be a great look for him where you can still net profit, but also you don't have to really put out an album that's going to be divisive.
Now, would you think it'd be wrong if they kind of give these verses to his friends to put on their album?
Absolutely not. I think that one thing about an artist that's grows organic. Think about 50, right? When 50 came out, he put on a lot of his guys, and they had talent, but it's like with that 50 cosign, it got them so many more looks that we're still hearing Lloyd Banks 15 years later. We're still Yayo don't really rap like he used to, but you can hear Yayo had a good run.
And Young Buck just recently put out an album like a month ago.
Yeah, Sure They Wanna Rob Me, one of my favorite Southern trap songs from back in the day.
What was that song that he had all the South niggas and it was beefing with each other on it? I think it was Stomp.
Oh yeah, Stomp.
Yeah, that was my shit back then.
Just because you're from Brooklyn and you're violent.
No, but now T.I. and Ludacris went crazy on there.
But like I said, so using that with Pops, like his people that's still around, that could be dope, and just like allow the Brooklyn drill scene to continue to prosper because you got that voice, and then hopefully people that he was rocking with, like the Travis Scotts and the influencers, the tastemakers, can kind of push that forward. Because
there's a lot of people from his camp that's rocking. You got T. Woo, you got Tay Flossy, you got Quelly Woo, you got Daffy Woo, Free Daffy Woo. Shit, you got Ross Swish, you got NBA. Zay1, you have a lot of people from just that particular camp that are rapping that, bless them with one verse here and there for their official album. When they come, not a mixtape, but like an official album.
Not even an album, bro. There's so much more money in singles nowadays because like you think about the 2-minute song. That's what they said. Like, you could run that joint up. And you get a great beat.
Put it on TikTok, get a dance.
Put it on TikTok, even put it on YouTube, put it out, even make it radio friendly. Hot 97 gonna play it.
Flex about to drop 60 bombs.
So, I mean, there's a recipe where everybody can eat. I think that, like I said, for the general consumer, this album wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Knowing, like, following Pop and, seeing his organic rise and what his projects were prior to, his passing, it's like, all right, y'all threw some shit together. It worked for the most part for the average person.
Yeah.
But like you said,
for the real fans.
Yeah,
but side note though, speaking of Funk Flex though, I saw on Twitter, like, they was memorizing the day when I think Kanye West, we're gonna talk about him a little later, when Kanye West premiered like Otis Redding with Jay-Z, and that day the song is like 2 minutes and
it's like 240,
but he took literally 20 minutes and 15 minutes of those was just straight Flex bombs. We got to talk about how Flex ruined the songs in New York for a little bit, though.
I mean, I think it's a gimmick because it's going. You know what it is? No press is bad press. So it's like
you remember as a kid when you was listening to Hot 97, nigga would drop like 16 bombs back and forth.
He did that when they dropped the Pusha T diss to Drake. I remember when it dropped, and he pulled it up like 17 times. I'm like, bro, can we hear what he said?
That's a fact.
Hiding your kid from the world.
He lied. You niggas worship him. We gotta get that sound.
Bombs everywhere, and it's like, bro, I just want to hear the song. And then the song, you're not gonna be able to get a copy of the actual record for like 2-3 days.
Yeah, bro.
He always premiere shit on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And it's like, yo, bro, it's not gonna be on the site.
And I fuck with you, Flex, because you got your album coming out, and you got a lot of the young niggas I'm listening to on that album. But yo, chill out. When you premiere your album, bro, I better not hear 50 million bombs over there, bro. Let the record play out here, bro. But I just wanted, when we just talked about Flex, that shit brought up to me. But yo, salute to Pop. He a legend. You feel me? I hope the Pop Smoke Day that occurs in the Floss occurs every single year, and the foundation gets bigger because it was really great seeing, because it was really no at least to my knowledge, I didn't really check on the Citizen app.
Damn, bro, you didn't even invite me. That's crazy.
No, I didn't go. I was at work. I just saw it from niggas in my hood.
But nah,
yeah, I saw it. They had the Seaview Park flooded. They had a performance from his camp. Like Tay Floss was performing, Querly Wu was performing, and they shot the video, which is gonna be my song of the week, Coop. They shot it with all that. You just see the visuals, you see everybody together, and it was just like, it was just love. So yeah, shout out, you're a legend,
And what's crazy too? I've been thinking like, what makes somebody, from the difference between somebody being a good artist and a legend, it's how they made you feel. Like people generally, like we enjoyed watching Pops, right? Even though like we said, sometimes records came out and if you wasn't in the scene, like I wasn't into Brooklyn drill before Pop, so I was like, what is this? Like what?
I'm gonna die. Give me gun on my hip. Hey, like one in the head.
It's like, what is this boy talking about? That it's like, but then you just can't stop like dancing. You can't stop vibing. And it's like that feeling and just watching his organic rise. Like it wasn't like he was a plant. It was like he was just hustling. Like Meet the Woo, then Meet somebody, and like a month later, Meet the Woo 2 come out.
What?
And it's just like, yo,
fire.
And it's like if you think about like him, XXX Tentacion.
That's what I was going to talk about. But now when I say Pop is a legend, he's a hood legend, a New York legend, but I'm not putting him there with the bigs like and the Tupac.
But then you could also say they had short runs too, but it was how they made people feel with their projects.
But I feel like Biggie and Tupac legend was affected in the whole culture. It was like a bigger,
because they were like the stakeholders in the hip hop and
it was and then like hip hop was only like a decade or close to 2 decades old at that time, so it wasn't really popping like it was
15
now.
years at that point.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to talk about was the XXX Tentacion, because I know a lot of people put him on that legend status. But no disrespect to the dead, but I can't put you there.
But he wasn't for us.
You're right.
He wasn't for us. He's for like my sister loves him. Like that group, like the 23 and under class really enjoys them.
That's a fact.
But and you know what it is? Again, it's how they made you feel. Like that was somebody they got to see come up from YouTube, from Twitter, and despite any like what we probably were introduced to him through the allegations or whatever and the craziness, but they saw his music and I listened to like 2 of his projects and it was like entertaining.
Dope artist. I feel like he was on his way building his legacy.
Juice WRLD's very similar as well. Juice WRLD has a lot. People call him a legend in that bracket too.
Man, and I feel bad because I just call Pop a legend, but when I say legend, I mean a hood legend. But I feel like when we name these artists legends and we put them in the same category as Tupac and Biggie, I feel like we kind of diluting it.
It's generational though. It does get diluted because, as you know what, you grow up hearing an artist that you didn't really get to interact with being called legend, so you automatically like that. You feel me? The people that consider the Juice WRLD RIP, the XXX Tentacions as legends RIP, though even the Pops to some extent, if you talking to somebody on the West Coast or whatever, right? They're going to say like, oh, that's a predicate of us seeing them grow or being able to follow the journey, the hero's journey, right? And it's cut short, so you never know what it could have been. So we had them at their peak. Like I saw Juice WRLD at Rolling Loud, New York, and he had the crowd rocking. I knew one song, but I was just sitting there like, yo,
Lucid Dream.
I knew one record, but he had this shit rocking. I was just sitting here like, damn, like for a lot of kids, like that's their shit. Think about artists we used to listen to, like if we would have not gladly example, but artists you would have listened to like 10, 12 years ago, and if they would have passed early, how would you have felt? Like you would have been like, yo, that's my guy, that's legendary shit. I'm never not.
I'm trying to think of like artists of when we was growing up that passed away. That was.
But then a lot of our artists, not saying they didn't pass away, but a lot of the ones that got big, is like they're still around.
Yeah,
you feel me? Or they,
because like 50 Cent, like if 50 Cent after the Get Rich Die Trying, God forbid, something happened to him around the time before.
Well, Massacre, like you say, we don't get nothing else after the Massacre. It's like, yo, 50, he's goated regardless. But imagine what that would have done. Like there would have been no blemish on his record with like certain releases. You feel me? Or there wouldn't have been a time where we saw 50's lyrical ability decline. We would have never saw the reinvention of. We never know what these guys would have become.
You're right.
And I think that's another thing that goes into it. So it's like, yo,
I just have a problem when they compare it. Like, like you can make them a legend, but it's like, okay, Tupac, Biggie, I know, like, all right, we gotta. It gotta be tears.
Biggie made fat people sexy.
Come on now, and the Coogee niggas wasn't rocking Coogee,
and Tupac made it cool to be a thug and emotional.
That's a fact.
You feel me? So it's like they not only did their music hit and their message, but it's like, yo, it created archetypes. It's like, yo, you could be, you don't have to be like the GQS.
And a lot of the rappers was their sons.
100%.
Afterwards, like a lot of these rappers that people's demons, Jay-Z, Jay-Z is
Will Smith.
Don't say that. Don't do that. Not with Tupac. You see what Jaden? Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo,
sorry, Will Smith. I'm still one of your biggest fans. I had to. He made me mad. I've been drinking all day.
But like Jay-Z comes from the element of Biggie. Like they have a lot of protege who took their flows and style, but we got to just see where it pop. And, you know, so RIP to all the legends, you feel me? RIP to every rapper that passed away.
Also, even if you ain't get there yet, yo, you impacted somebody somewhere.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Now, speaking of legends, though, this person's a living legend, but right now, I don't think he wants this in his legacy right now. Well, Dr. Dre would not have to be paying $300K a month to his ex-wife.
All right, this is probably the part where you gonna bash women, so I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna get out your way.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna go ahead. And she was initially asking for $2 million a month.
Yeah,
that was initial. I was like, first off, like, well, Dre's worth like what, 1.5 billion after the Beats deal and whatever else he got going on.
That's
his worth and masters. So I was like, all right, you skimmed the top, and I think there's also a discussion right now. I think it definitely says like it's until either one of them gets married again. So she gets married
or get into like some partnership.
They get into like a legit partnership, or one of them passes away. But there's also discussions of a lump sum payment. So as opposed to giving her the $3 million annually, he could probably be like, all right, bet I'm the average black man don't live but so much longer than my current age. I just had a brain aneurysm. Yo, let's 3 times 10. We figure it. I'll give you 30 mil or whatever, and we call it spade a spade.
That still hit.
It hits, but he got billions, so 30
That's
mil.
a fact. And she was trying to get his stocks in Apple and all that too.
Yeah, so she wanted to be cutting on a bigger deal. So I think the fact that they negotiated that, it does work out for me. I think a lot of people that are mad at the news, when they do this, like they do these type of deals, it's like they going based on what you're worth. A lot of us ain't worth no billion.
That's a fact.
So they not coming. You that work at the government office, they not coming for you, bro. You probably be paying her like $600 a month. But that's, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about. I do want to say this though. I feel that if we always want to talk about reworking systems, and I've been thinking about this all week since we heard it, not even on no hater shit, but the divorce system is built to cater to women, and I feel like it's built that way because it was constructed at a time where women were seen as docile and seen as only housemakers and unable to get their own. You feel me? So I feel like a lot of those rules now, like there's a lot of boss women out here that's supporting their men. Not saying that there aren't
boss nigga wife and bit.
And there are women that in some divorce situations that do have to, pay up or whatever. But I think like that.
Adele.
Yeah, but I think we have to look back at that system as well. That might need subtle reform. Not saying it's totally broken, but like a lot of those things like child court, etc. Like they are very, very tailored towards the woman. And that's not saying it's a bad thing in some situations. Sometimes men just ain't shit. But in some situations, you gotta be like, yo, really? Like,
yeah, because beginning of this, when I started having this mindset, was the Lionel Richie when he got divorced, and I saw how much he was having to pay for her upkeep, and like he was paying like a couple G's for just entertainment for his ex-wife, and I'm just like, wait, what? Like, why am I having to do? I understand if you get the house, you get the car, you get half or whatnot. But why am I having to pay for certain upkeeps for you? Like, she was asking for, remember the original, she was asking for what? How much again? Like $3 million a month or something like that?
$2 million.
$2 million, and some of it was like her phone bill was over $100K.
It was some outrageous numbers.
Yeah, and she also had to continue something for donations. I'm like, you donating every month? Like, what's going on? So that's why I don't understand this type of thing. And I understand if a woman take care of the kids and take care of the house, that she didn't really get to work on her career, so she couldn't really get back into the workforce.
Her earnings back or whatever.
Yeah. No, I don't mind that. But we're not going to sit here and say for a celebrity like her.
Is she a celebrity? I don't know her name.
I mean, there's a lot of celebrities you don't know. There's D-list celebrities. But she's been around. She's been part of the business and everything. And also Do you really think she taking care of the kids like this?
Aren't all his kids grown?
Basically.
But she did put the time in to take care of the house. Like for him as a billionaire, if he can get off with a lump sum of say 30, 40, even 50 mil, like, yo, this is you, do what you do with it. We are severed ties. I can't be mad at that because I know it's not hurting him. It's different if he was only worth 100 mil and she's got half. You feel me?
I feel like, you know what? Maybe you're right. I think if it was just more of a time, like 5 years, it should be time limits. Like, I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna pay this for 5 years, 3 years, or 10 years, something around that.
Some kind of tweaks to a system. Like, I feel like that.
Not if until I find a lot of relationship type.
I'm
of thing.
Lie. You ain't never gonna see me out with this bitch. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm sorry, Chloe, bitch. I just don't know her name. You just never gonna see me out with this girl.
I'm never getting married. If I'm in the case, because I married the Mary J. Blige situation when she got divorced from her man. I'm like, if I was her man, I'm never getting married again. And I'm gonna tell my girl.
Popping out with no one. Yo, we gonna come through separate entrances. We gonna sit in the same section.
And I'm like, yo, you love this vacation, right? You love all of this,
cause I can't be without you, baby.
You better keep it quiet about this whole marriage and ring thing.
You will get dropped.
That's a Fendi. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I agree with you on everything, you know, the whole keeping the lifestyle, but I wish it would come with better terms, or at least a limit, at least a couple years. Because I'm like, yo, this shit really, because I seen when this report came out, a lot of people was discouraged from marriage, and I'm like, yo, I don't blame people. How's your thoughts about marriage after hearing this news?
In regards to like divorce and shit? Divorce not an option. If I feel like it's a chance of divorce, I'm like, yeah, we're not married yet. Wait, relax. Calm down now. But I also feel like, you know, marriage is something in our respective generation where it's like, how many successful marriages do you see on a day-to-day? You feel me? And you might see a couple, you might have, you know, even it might be your parents or whatnot. It's like, do you see yourself in that role? Sometimes it's a mindset thing. Sometimes I wake up like, we're gonna get this done. Sometimes I was like, let's take some time. I'm not in no rush. Yeah, because like for me personally, my response, me and my partner, my responsibility to you is not going to change because I'm gonna treat you like my wife regardless. You feel me?
And that's the most important stuff.
And that's the thing that sometimes people like, they use that saying like, oh, you getting wife privileges and you don't got a ring on it,
or boyfriend privileges and you're not boyfriend.
I'm about to say, like, shorty could be on my beneficiary at work. If I get something happen to me, you still get that, and that's not wifely. Like, you feel me? Like, if my life insurance policy, if I put you down, like, I see you as that. And I think that's something else. Like, a lot of people just get caught talking shit. Like, you just heard so much bullshit for your whole life that you want to run with these 25-year-old talking points that don't hold no merit. Like, to be in a partnership, especially now, living in this state, you have to be able to, especially when cohabitate, you have to be able to, you know, operate in that situation. And you still don't have to necessarily be married. You can make the situation work. And
also, when you hear about these marriages, like these 10, like the Gary Owen, he's going to divorce.
Oh yeah, his wife is blowing his shit up. Yeah. You know, he might have been a scumbag. I'm like, yo,
kids is growing. She asking for money for them. I'm like, come on now, like, what we doing here? Like, you asking for child support, and them kids is like,
that's a
19.
woman that's hurt though, and a man that's hurt, probably the Mary J. Blige husband shit. Him asking for bread, like, yo, you ain't write them records, bro. What you doing?
So that's why it kind of discouraged me, because, you know, I feel like I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. Wasn't the same person I was 10 years ago. And then with the marriage situation too, it's like, yo, you're kind of betting on growing on it doesn't have to be on the same exact path as your partner, but it should be like somewhere close together that y'all grow on the same path, and you basically put in a bet on that.
Yeah, it's a gamble. No matter how great y'all are as a couple, it's a gamble, because you have to, like you said, like I told you I was watching Sex Life. We're going to talk about that later because this shit got to be tight. But you're betting on this thing lasting. And sometimes people can have a great 19 years, and that 20 years like, oh shit, who the hell did I marry?
Fact.
You know what I mean? Abort. You know what I mean? Sometimes people wait 10, like, we've been together for 20 years, why you not married? Because it works. And if it works, why would I rock the boat? You feel me?
And that's why I want to bring back up what I suggested.
Oh, shit.
We should, as married couples, we should sit here and every 3 years have like a, hey, you still into this? We still into this?
Scale of 1 to 10, how you feeling right now?
Yeah, you feel me? We still want to continue
what was
this?
that picture you sent me? Shorty said you married me you married me as a friend because you love me. I was like, I wish somebody would ask me this dumbass question. You married, right? That's all that matters. Leave me alone.
Oh yeah, with girls. Oh Lord, don't stop me. Don't get me started.
But sometimes niggas need what's the reinsurance too?
Reinsurance?
Yeah, that shit. Yo, I'm gonna talk about sex. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to do it because this shit. We already talked about it. Like she had the perfect life. She done been slutted out. She done had her fun. She got married, had 2 kids. I'm not gonna front. No homo. The husband was a good looking guy. Like it's like, yo, if you a white woman and you get this, like you good. He 40. He work out. He let you be a housewife. Like shit. Let me tell her she be a housewife right now. She gonna be ecstatic. But she had the 80-20 rule. This is the most important thing Tyler Perry ever put in a movie. Everybody know. In any relationship, you might get 80% of what you need and 20% is out there. It's like, hey, it happens. She said 85-15. She was thinking about that dude that used to blow her back out. Treated her like shit. But she was just concerned because her husband wasn't going down on her. Fast forward a little bit. Son, this whole here, let me tell you. She had her homegirl lie to her husband like, yo, tell him y'all together. They all go to dinner and they end up in the bathroom. They don't do nothing, but the husband finds out. Husband feels emasculated. He, nigga,
wait, hold up.
No. I told you to watch. You ain't do your homework.
Oh,
but then he goes and his man's like, yo, you know what it is, bro? It's just because you ain't been out. You've been a husband and a worker. You ain't really been yourself. So he go, and if you ain't watched the show yet, I'm sorry, but I had to get this off my chest. He go, he go on the prowl. They take him out. He go see a old John. Nothing's there. He's like, oh, it's cool. Like, yeah, I don't want to do this. His boss is fire. She likes him, but she's respectful of his situation. And he's like, yo, like, what are we doing? You got to work your shit out because like I'm trying to be great for you and you're not making it happen. So they do some wild shit. They argue. They go to a sex party where some crazy shit happens.
Swinger shit?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then she's not into it. I'm saying like, yo, you've been writing stories about your ex-boyfriend beating it down and doing all this crazy shit with you in these wild places. Now I bring you to some place and now you want to act up? Fine. And then they go through all of this strife and everything. And then at the end, I'm thinking, yo, it ends up where they have a conversation. He defends her in front of her former friends and peers. Like, yo, she's a good woman. She, she wanted what she wanted. She dead the ex-boyfriend comes around. She deads that. And yo, I'm like, oh, this is happily ever after. Then they go to this scene. I said, my man's in the bathroom. She's running randomly. Like, she just went back to school and she's running through New York City, right? Mm-hmm. And my man checks the phone. He got the little location app. And he sees where she's going. He get tight. He called one of his boss to find one. This bitch pulls up to her ex-boyfriend's loft like, I'm not leaving my husband, but you gotta fuck me. And that shit fade to black. I was like, so what do we do all this for?
Oh, no.
I was like, so how do we get here? How? Because look,
she's an addict.
But then we go back to our conversation, right? They was great for like the 5-6 years they was together, 8 years they was together, her and her husband. And then she just woke up one day like, damn, he's not fucking me like he used to. I'm gonna go call this old nigga. And got so caught up that even after shit hit the fan, and they agreed to work through it, and this man defends her and protects her from all this backlash she's catching, and you still gonna fuck the other nigga? Oh my God.
We just agree that women don't know what the hell they want.
Look, there you go bashing. I'm just saying, just to prove
I had to say it.
Oh, just to prove the point that, like, sometimes people grow.
I don't want to know what to do in that situation.
That's exactly what my man said. He pulled up, like, he called his boss, and he's like, yo, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Mind you, like, this dude he's killing it at work, got 2 beautiful kids. She doesn't have to, she got to go back to finish her PhD. Like, she don't have to worry about no bills. That means homeboy had enough bread to have a nice ass house, upstate, well, like, White Plains, the nice areas and shit. Like, what are you doing? You couldn't sacrifice the 15.
And I want to know how her ex-boyfriend feel like, yo.
But that's the thing, they didn't show what he said. Like, they literally had a whole, like, couple of
season 2.
They had you got to finish season 1, bro. You got to watch it. But then, they had a whole, conversation.
Because even as the ex-boyfriend, I'm going to feel like,
you told me you didn't want me. You told me I didn't have you. And now you're like, all right, you're not leaving your husband, but fuck me. Like, yeah, there's some niggas that's probably gonna fuck, but it's like, yo, for what? So I done confessed how I felt about you. You chose him, And now you're telling me you want your cake and to eat it too. That shit
You know what? I would have divorced her because it's not like you're fucking random guys to the point like you're a sex addict. You're fucking this one dude over
She didn't
here.
even fuck him the whole season. It was all shit that she did, but she was like 20, 23, 24, 25.
Oh.
And now she's like 30, 32 and like trying to go back to that and capture that. I hope if she do fuck, I hope it's trash. I'm sorry.
So I hope you don't come, bitch.
I hope it's just like you sit here, you have that like that. What the fuck am I doing moment? Like it was that crazy. Like I'm sitting here like, yo, how the fuck? Why the? I was mad at the people that wrote the show. I was just like, why would you take us on this wild ass ride for this to happen? And my man still ain't leave.
Nah, he got to leave that. I ain't gonna lie. Like I wouldn't take her back at all if I was him.
But then you think about it. He go for the divorce. What she get? She gonna get the house. She gonna get the kids. She gonna get half. So that we circle back around. See, y'all like how I make that connection, right? Shout out to Slick. I'm a gunshot.
That is true. That is true because she's not really working, and technically she's a housewife.
He said the most heartbreaking shit, bro. I ain't gonna. I almost shut a thug to. He's like, yo, I built this perfect life for you, for the kids, for myself. And I loved every moment of it until I read your journal and seen what the fuck kind of time you was on.
And this is why you shouldn't snoop. Both guys and girls.
Don't look.
Don't look, because you're going to find what you're looking for.
You know this,
and you're going to hurt yourself
you might
even
even
more.
Find, not even what you're looking, you're going to find some next shit or some shit that's not even that big, but for you, just because you found something, you're going to go to 10.
Yep.
Rip. And that's
the rip. Oh, yo, now if you were short and you find her journal, she talking about some past, how you going to feel? What you going to do?
She's like, wait, I'm that nigga. Oh man, I don't know. I'm emotional and sensitive as fuck. I'm gonna sit in the corner in the dark room and cry for like, man, I've learned my lesson with Snoop. I don't do that shit no more.
I ain't gonna lie. Before I do that, I'll probably do dirt. That's me. Because with me, I feel like I have a petty factor where I'm like, yo, I have to get back before I even bring this to your attention. I have to get a get back. I have to at least, because us guys, when we're in a relationship or so, there's usually a girl that we know that we can hit, but out of respect, we might not hit. I'm going to hit so I can come back and then I'm gonna confront you about it. before I'm gonna have my light skin moment. I'm gonna have my emotional moment, but I have to get my get back before I even have the conversation because it's like it's gonna pain me.
I'm going to jail.
It's gonna pain me to hear you say, "Hey, yeah."
But that's the thing.
I've been fucking.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Shorty, yo, when I say she took no accountability, she tried to.
Typical women.
Look, this is why they shit. This is why they shit on us in the comments. But they shit on you. I'm safe so far in these streets. Yo, she took no. She said it's not all my fault. I was like, well, whose fucking fault is it?
Like, yeah, because you didn't communicate your problem with him.
He's like, you ain't talked to me. She's like, you went through my stuff. Like, I didn't think I had to tell you. Like, I was just sitting here. I was flabbergasted. So I honestly, I don't know what I'd do in that situation. Because, like, even if you talk about it, it's like, do I trust you to tell me the truth? And if I know you lying and you still you go with that story.
And that's why I have to get the get back. That's why I have to get the get back. Because I know you're not going to fully tell me the whole entire truth.
Does anybody tell the whole entire truth?
No. Why? If you didn't find out the whole entire... Okay, now, if I mess with one girl... if I was messing with 5 girls and you find out about 2...
Oh, that's it. That's all it was.
It's only 2. You only find out about 2. I'm going to cut the other 3 off if I want to continue being with you. But am I going to tell you about the whole 5 girls? No, but I'm going to try to make sure I cover up those 3 girls and make sure they never pop up in your life ever again if I decided to stay with you. If you decided to stay with me.
Oh, you got to break the bats and like, this shit don't work no more, y'all.
Yeah, I'm going to break the other 3 off, be like, yo, it's over. Yo, it is. But if you only found about 2, I'm only going to let you find about 2.
Well, I get that.
That's why I said I have to go get the get back because whatever's in the journal everything that you did might not be in that journal, and you might not tell me when I confront you about it.
Oh yeah, like it's some wild. You gotta watch it, bro. I know I just told you what happened, but you gotta watch. If y'all ain't checked that shit out, y'all just need something to watch that's just going you're gonna be like, why the just delete the number, you'll be fine. The series over.
Oh man, but that's good though. We should do more reviews like that. Because we gotta do because All American is coming to Netflix.
Oh, season 3 about to drop?
Yep, on July 27th. So I'm about to binge watch that. You already know. And I already know my boy Spencer was over here dabbing between two best friends already. So you already know the vibe on that, though.
Yeah, athlete. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Now, speaking on, just more entertainment news, we have the Kanye West release party, though.
Yo.
What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts? You're a big Ye fan.
I'm a big Ye fan. He top 3 in my eyes, and producer, and as a all around artist, top 2. Like I said, just because I don't think his freestyle
Who's number one?
All around artist for me. That's a good question. I don't want to share that. I don't know who's number one. I gotta think about it.
Okay,
it might be. I'm just thinking like him and Pharrell, just like talent wise.
Oh yeah.
As what they will longevity, the fact that they create their own shit and reinvent themselves is dope. But I think the fact that he had this whole role, even though he was late, he's always late, and then he didn't drop the album afterwards.
First of all, who the hell Justin LaBoy is to Kanye West? Because
we talked about this offline. I think that Kanye is just trying to tap in with this like current, like how do you reinvent the album rollout? You feel me? Like it's one thing to be like, yo, I'm gonna put the playlist out, I'm gonna drop a single. Kanye's too big of an artist to have to do that, and he knows a lot of the music he's making. He's not making purely mainstream. Like I'm going for a Billboard Hot 100 hit. He's like, yo, let them know, get the streets talking. You know, we pop up at these random events. People paying good money to go to these events, which is crazy. Like he sold out a stadium to watch him walk around for an hour with a mask on. You feel me?
And them chicken tenders was hitting. The price was hitting. Niggas was charging like $60 or $70 for them chicken tenders and fruit baskets.
That's the experience, and I think that's the thing with the rollout is amazing. And the fact that it's like, yo, people heard the album early, it's not even done. So it's like I feel like he had this all in mind. He probably just wanted to get the street side. And I also feel like low key, this is like just my conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. I feel like Drake was supposed to drop in the next couple weeks, and Kanye just fucked that up because now we don't know when Kanye. They said August 6th. I don't know if that's true.
I doubt it.
I feel like he's pushing.
And Drake said he was going to drop it before the summer.
I'm just saying.
Ends.
And so we all know, like everybody in the group chats is saying, yo, summer's almost over. Summer's almost over. So like, even though there's the rumor that they friends now, like I feel like Kanye was just like one last jab, nigga. Don't like you hot, you it. But I'm still Kanye fucking West. Like, yeah, your albums. If you let you want to go ahead.
Apparently, the album might have a Drake feature on it because they squashed their beef. That's the apparent
rumor.
Hearsay.
That's the thing about hearsay. Anybody, I can go on the internet right now and say Drake and Kanye West seen leaving NBA draft combine, some bullshit like that, or leaving Olympic Games. And somebody go retweet it.
Nah, but didn't Drake put him in a lyric a couple songs ago? Like, yo,
I might need me some Jesus.
Yeah.
I thought Drake was being petty, saying I just fucked your wife. Now I gotta repent.
Knowing Drake, that might be true though.
I thought he was just trying to repent, but I don't know, man.
I'm glad to see. Speaking on the next topic, I'm glad to see Jay-Z reconnecting with Kanye though. Like
Jay waited till the moment Kanye signed the dotted line. It's like, all right, I can have my brother back. Watch the Throne 2 on the way.
Facts.
That was the equivalent of the Black movie when the girl ain't shit. And you just waiting like, yo, my nigga, is you gonna leave or what? Because we got shit to do. There's bitches in the car.
And then, and the little bar that he put in there about the red hat, like he had to, like what he said about the red hat, he had to take him back home. Like, yo, I'm happy for it though. I'm happy. I'm glad to see them back together.
It's never promising when you beef with your brother, especially in the industry that they're in. It's like, yo, you guys are two of the greats. Y'all been dominating for Jay-Z, almost 30 years at this point, 25 years. Ye for like the last 15 to 20 years. Like, it's time for y'all to just come together. Like, we seen black people, important brothers is dying. A lot of brothers dying, but important.
Legendary brothers, yeah.
So, like, yo, tomorrow not promised. Like, this beef shit not worth it.
So yeah, I mean, I wasn't really checking for a Ye album like that. He's not. I mean, like I respect Ye, respect his artistry. You feel me? But I'm looking for it. You know, Lil Durk might be on the album because Lil Durk made a little trolling, like he missed the plane, but then next minute he tweeted like I lied, he made the plane. So it sounds like he might have some good features on here. So
Boy, definitely took over the Superdome, and they said he's living in the stadium while he finishes the album. He got people just pulling up doing their verses. So I'm like, hey, we might get something. Kanye is notorious for dropping out projects and continuing to tweak them years later. So.
Yeah, he probably tweaking until it's 12 o'clock. Until the deadline for it to hit 12 to release to the public. That's what he probably might do.
Shit, so I don't know.
So shout out to Ye. Even though you out here with this big ass red coat everywhere,
that's a $200 coat. But that's also smart. That's his Gap line. So like when he did the thing,
They don't got no summer wear. Like it's still hitting though.
It don't matter. It's Kanye, and I guarantee like those boots he had on, those were the boots people was making fun of him for. Now that he's performed in them, people are seeing him with them. They're attached to this album rollout. I bet you at least the hype beast gonna have it.
Oh, speaking of hype beast, yo, y'all niggas is wilding on eBay. Niggas is out here selling 800 bags of air. I'm just like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, Americans, y'all niggas are hustlers for real. But whoever buys a bag of the air of that whole release party, y'all are stupid and y'all are wasting y'all money for no reason. What is y'all problem?
Bugging.
Now on to championship. Shout out to the Bucks, though. NBA champion. What's your thoughts on it? How you feel about it, man?
I mean, Giannis proved that, you know what? There is skill, there is desired skill, but for his specific skill set, there's not many people that can fuck with him. Especially
piece though.
But you know what it was? He played center, and that's what so many like these big men, these time women refuse to do, like the ADs and such. They don't want to play center. Giannis said, "You know what? If they play when me and Brook Lopez is out here, they killing us. So now I'll run center. If we get Ayton in foul trouble, who else can stop me?" And he could have had 60 because he had 41 going into the fourth quarter.
Yep. And I feel like the Suns coach, he did a horrible job. He should have taken Deontay Ayton off of him.
Yeah, but if you look statistically, Ayton he did the best against him. It's just a matter of like Giannis is so quick and so strong and lengthy. It's like once he hits you, he can contort his body in a way where he can lay the ball or at least get a shot up.
But my thing is, why you didn't do the same tactics that the Toronto Raptors did?
They didn't have the personnel.
Yeah.
You got to think. Toronto had Marc Gasol, who's 7'1", 280 pounds. You run into him, you bouncing back. Pascal Siakam, 6'11".
But they got some people on the Suns that
They don't have once
not to that caliber, but they could have done something similar.
And then Kawhi Leonard was meeting him at the top of the key. So automatically, all that, if you trying to cross over and shit, it's going to us cookies. There was no defender built like that on this team. Jay Crowder, for all the hype he gets, he's more of a nuisance rather than a lockdown defender. He'll stay in front. He'll bump you. He'll get like he'll reach the right
defense.
Way. Yeah, like he's one of those guys. And then behind him, they didn't really have anything else. What's the other kid's name? It's going to bother me. Their backup forward, same thing. Like he's strong. He can move his feet a little bit. But he's not going to lock you up.
Yeah.
That Toronto team was special. We don't realize how special they were just because they beat a broken Warriors team. So
but, I mean, he did a good job against him as well too. So I'm just like, he didn't.
That was last year though, and there was no Drew Holiday. Thing about it is, like, you did that. Chris Middleton was still putting up great numbers last year. You gave him a third guy who, if Giannis is off, if Middleton is having one of his coasting games, the third guy is making life miserable for the other team on both ends of the court. Which is why I say, like, they are in my eyes a super team, but it's a organic super team.
Yeah, and I feel bad for CP3. Like, this was his best shot. I don't know if he's going to be able to get to the Lakers. That's what they're saying, and I don't even think the Lakers with him will be able to make it to the finals. So this was legit his best shot, and he could have really swept them.
They were, I mean, you think about it. They could have won game 4 and 5. The series over. They were in game 6 until the last 2 minutes or so. But it showed they need one more guy. CP was on his mid-range bag. D-Book was scoring, but he was he had 19 points on 22 shots. Didn't make a three-pointer.
He made some bonehead mistakes at the end of turnover. I think it was like game 5 or 4.
He had a turnover at the end of each game.
Yeah. And that just stopped their momentum and everything.
They need another guy that can create something. I know it sounds like anytime a team loses, you can say they need another guy, but it's like they were the product of being able to come against teams that weren't 100% healthy. Which, that's not their fault. They saw food and they ate. But it's like, all right, you had 1 year. Now what happens when the Lakers are healthy next year? When Denver is healthy? Who else did they play? Clippers won't be healthy, but they can retool that roster and see what they can do if Kawhi comes back.
The Lakers is making some trade. We looking at who's that? A kid from the Kings?
Oh, Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield sipping Kuzma out of here.
Kid, you're not the same age as Buddy Hield.
Don't do that.
But back to Giannis. I think Giannis proved that I belong, and it's like no matter what, he's now officially a Hall of Famer.
Oh. Definitely. First ballot.
If he retired today, they might make him wait a little while. He won every award in the NBA by the age of 26. I think it's just a longevity thing.
My problem now is the disrespect on LeBron.
Why? How are we gonna make this a LeBron thing? I'm a LeBron fan.
No, it's just the media making this LeBron thing is now he's the face of the NBA. He's the best player in the world.
If you think about
and I'm just like, wait.
That's a casual fan's mindset. It's the team that wins. The team that wins. Are you dying again?
Oh, yeah, that came out of nowhere. Go ahead.
The team that wins, their best player is the best player in the world. When Steph was winning, Steph was the best player in the world. When Kawhi won, Kawhi's the best player in the world. LeBron won, LeBron's the best player in the world. Giannis did it in a fashion that we're not accustomed to seeing. We got a superstar dropping a 50 bomb, making the thing that he's weak is at free throws and shooting. He made he made a 3, and he only missed 2 out of 19 free throws. You feel me? So what else can you ask for? And then Drew Holiday locked up. Chris Middleton hit the shot when it mattered.
I'm just tired of the disrespect on LeBron, and I can't wait because I want LeBron to play more years, but I can't wait until to see the day when LeBron finally calls it quits. What's going to happen now? How the league is going to look? Because everything is LeBron thing. Everything. They just come after him for any little thing. And I'm just like, let Giannis have this, but he's not the best player in the world. I'm going to
change it. He's not the best. He has the most dominant skill set.
Yes.
And what I mean is
Since
that
Shaq.
Yes. And that's the thing. He's better than prime Shaq, in my opinion, because Shaq wasn't taking the ball from the top of the key and getting to the basket and shoot stuff. That's the thing. Somebody said this about Shaq on TikTok, and it really made me think. You can't call Shaq a top 5 player all the time because we never saw the best Shaq. Shaq at his best was just overpowering. Like skill set wise, think about Shaq was athletic. He was the strongest person. He could run end to end. There's no reason he shouldn't have put up Wilt numbers for more seasons than he did. If you really think about it.
I feel like he in the Magic.
If Shaq developed a little short jump shot, Shaq would have averaged, his career would have lasted longer, and he probably would have averaged 37 points or more.
If he just stayed in shape, to be honest with
you. And that's the thing. How many seasons did we hear Shaq's not in shape? He's averaging 27 points while not being in shape.
That's a fact.
And he's a Pisces, I think. We're notoriously lazy. We're going to get away with what you allow us to get away with. I know horoscope season people don't really fuck with it, but it's true. I've never met a Pisces that has not coasted through life when they know they're good at something. So I feel like Giannis is putting himself, he has that dominant skill set where it's like, you know what? If you got somebody that's strong and can move their feet, you might, annoy me a little bit. But I'm still, at the end of the night, I'm going to have 28 and 12.
And I don't mind that. And then Shaq even dubbed him as the Superman. You feel me? So I don't mind that statement. And I would accept that statement. But to put him as the best player in the world right now,
that depends on he's the best player in the world because he's the last player standing.
But let's be honest with you. This playoff was not hitting the way it hit for the last couple of playoffs.
Yeah, you're right. And then that's why we hope next year is a return to the average, to the mean. But right now,
because he was basically an inch or two away from losing in the playoffs again, and then the narrative of him not be able to step up.
But then he also had 40 in that game too. So like KD,
but he did good. He did good in the other playoff series, and he still lost. He didn't know how to really run the game properly as a leader. And 100%. We have to understand he's not even he's a leader in the team, but he's not even really the leader of the team. It's like
he leads through his work ethic, but he's not like the voice of the team.
And he's not the closer.
He's not. That's Chris Middleton.
So it's like he's not even like.
But he's a big man.
He's not even like that in his team. So I even put him in that over the league.
That's like Kobe and Shaq, though.
But you know what also gave me tight? Somebody I know will say he's basically the top 2.
Power forward of all time.
And I'm like, y'all smoking drugs. Y'all doing drugs out here. Whatever y'all coke man is, please lay it down because y'all disrespecting Tim Duncan,
Kevin Garnett.
You don't even need to go more. Kevin McHale, like, come on now. What are we doing here?
Even though we know we don't fuck with Kevin Malone because of what he did. But that's neither here nor there. But I think, you know what it is? People are slaves of the moment. Mm-hmm. And you could say, if you took his 26 versus any other NBA player's 26, you would say the only person that has a better resume than him would be Tim Duncan. And I think that's probably, like, again, if they're thinking about it in an age comparison, remember, KG doesn't get a ring until... He was 31.
But he got everything else.
He got MVP. He didn't win Defensive Player of the Year, so he went to the Celtics. He didn't win a ring, so he went to the Celtics. He was 31 years old. So you're saying at 26, meaning the average NBA player is not considered in their prime until they like 27, 28. That's when you really see the best, like their peak. So we're saying this is a chance this man is not in his peak. and he's won every award that he can possibly win outside of Rookie of the Year.
But then again, I can't really give him all of that credit because it's like you got into a good system.
But he grew in it, and that's the thing. KG, when he had Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell, he won MVP. He was 2 games away from going to the conference final. Going to NBA finals. So it's not.
But he didn't barely had him for that long. But he had Chris Middleton since.
And how many years did they lose in the first and second round? That's the thing. They grew with the coach. Like it wasn't like the coach came. Let's be real. Bud was, if they would have lost to KD, Bud was getting fired. This whole, I don't want nobody to lose their job. And he seems like a nice guy, but he makes the worst adjustments. This was the first playoff series I ever seen him make an adjustment where he took even though Brook Lopez was cooking, took him out. I was like, yo, fourth quarter you can't play. We got to run Giannis to the 5. That was the first time I've ever seen him make that adjustment. Any other year, he just lets them go and he trusts.
He just earned himself a couple more years in his
He
job.
bought himself at least 2 years. He can coach there until he's ready to move up. And then when they fire him, they're not going to fire him. They're going to promote him to a front office role because he won them a championship.
Oh yeah,
he's playing with house money. They're all playing with house money. Drew Holiday's going to get them max. Giannis just signed his max, but he probably gave him more money off the top.
And I don't like the shot that he took at the super teams. But
it's true. I'm a LeBron fan. I could admit he went through the trenches. He lost matchups when he was supposed to win. He won matchups when he's supposed to lose. And you know what? Hey, fuck it, yo. And it was
he didn't create the super team though. It's like I understand the concept of it. I feel like the KD to the Warriors is a super team. Him, LeBron to the Heats is not really a super team because like
they had no bench.
They had no bench, but Chris Bosh was losing in the Raptors, and D Wade, they was losing at the time. They was not good, and they came together. That's why I'm just like,
I see that he is a super team just because at the time you could argue that Dwayne Wade and LeBron were 2 of the top 4 players in the world. So you put 2 of the top 4 on the team at that time where, granted, the Celtics did the same thing via trade, but it was more so trade. Maybe like I'm going to send me to Boston. You feel me? If it was done by trade, there would be no such thing as super team. But because players are choosing where they go, that's why I consider that. They want to team up with their guys on the A.
And I love it because these teams, I remember the day when Harrison Barnes was getting traded and during halftime.
Yeah, and they
come on now,
like, get to go where you want to go. But I think his shot was more so like James Harden because remember last year what Harden said?
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could be 7 feet and dunk and dribble and that'd be it. And I have no skill. Now he's like, yeah, I'm 7 feet, I dunk and dribble and I got a ring.
Was he wrong though?
But then it's a combo. It's not just that. It's a lot of niggas that can run, dribble, and dunk that can't do half of what Giannis can do.
Come on now, if
Clint Capella could have did that, they would have won a championship.
We can both agree that Harden's more skillful than
he
Giannis.
has more skill. He definitely does. He has to. He should have.
If he was Giannis size. Come on now. That's basically oversized KD, basically.
And then that's true. But it's also a matter of being more skilled. Does that necessarily equate to more wins? There's a lot of skilled players that don't win. Giannis and the thing is, Giannis was hitting turnaround. He was doing shit. And then game set, I was like, if you did this every game, you'd be the best player in the world. Because if they take away the rim and they play off of you, I'm going to bump you and get that little shoulder turnaround and hit the little mid-range shot. And it's dropping. What can you do?
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
He needs to stop gambling on the 3. That's one thing because there was a couple of series that he shot. He almost made them lose because he was just gambling on a 3. I'm like, bro, if you take 2 shots and ain't gonna win, bro, get your ass in the block and do what you got to do. Don't shoot because I remember there was one game he was like 0 for 5. I'm like, why did you even take 5 3-pointers if you didn't even make one?
But then you also look at his impact. You can say Harden is more skilled offensively. But Giannis impacts the game on multiple levels.
Oh yeah, defense.
His help defense. You saw that block? That's help defense.
That's a fact.
It's like, yo, I'm gonna give you 28 and 10 on my worst nights on this end, and then on the other end, I'm guarding the rim. He don't guard perimeter play. I'm not gonna front. He do be bitching up when he got to guard perimeter players, but. Hey, he's 7 feet. He can't do everything. And on the flip, yo, he's helping, he's blocking shots, stepping up. You take that.
All right, though. So, but shout out to the Bucks, though. You feel me? Y'all finally got it. Come on, PJ was out here wilding during that whole speech, man.
Yo, he was drinking water, the champagne,
looking like Chris Bosh in the Heat championship. Like, yo, shout out to PJ though, because a lot of people didn't think he was going to do that well once he got out of the Rockets and he found a nice home in the Bucks. And look at him.
Because you know what? Everybody thought this was going to be a 2-team season with the Lakers and the Nets. And then injuries happen and everything opens up. The top 4 teams in the West, talent-wise, always hurt.
Yeah, that's a big fact.
In the East, the top 2 teams, remember Milwaukee was third. Top 2 teams was hurt and had a mental, brick shit going on. So it was the perfect storm. And I was, like I said, if the Bucks can repeat next year, all respect. I'm glad they got it this year. All respect to them next year. If they can. I'm just saying.
I don't bet money on that, though. They're already putting the Nets as the favorite for next year. I'm just like,
wouldn't you? I mean,
no, I would not. Given the history of the 3 top superstars on that team, I would not. I would have to wait until the end of the season before I place that bet.
If they get a valid big man or Nick Claxton figures it out, and again,
it's not even that. It's about them being healthy.
But Kyrie got hurt on a freak accident.
But Kyrie's hurt every season.
He got hurt. This year was a freak accident. Harden
gets hurt every single year.
Harden flames out in the playoffs more than he gets hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that he was hurt and playing showed heart. I'm like I'm guaranteeing whatever his off. Remember, he was bullshitting, probably trying to get traded, so his body never was probably in peak shape. KD, a year off Achilles, he missed half the game. He missed some playoff games.
On the low gets hurt a lot too.
I'm just saying, bro. That's a lot of offensive fire.
So I don't even know who to play because I can't even bet on the Lakers until I see what the Lakers move because they talking about trading Dennis Schroeder to the Knicks, which that's not bad though. If we get Dennis Schroeder to the Knicks,
nah, fuck that. Knicks, go get Lonzo.
Nah, we get Lonzo in the Lakers.
Nah, fuck that. Lonzo, no.
He should come back to the LA.
He should. But nah, let Lonzo come to New York. We need a playmaking point guard to get the non-shooting.
But didn't you say that we need a little scorer though?
I don't trust Dennis Schroeder as far as I can throw him.
Oh, but but that'd be perfect. I think that would be perfect for his ego because he knows that.
You giving Dennis Schroeder $120 million to come to New York?
Based off his ego, yeah,
120
because you're going to allow him because he's not really a true point guard. He's basically like a scoring guard. A scoring guard, and he's going to be in a system where they're going to need him to score.
I don't know. When they needed him to score in LA, that nigga put up 0.
No, they needed him to be a playmaker. He was trash.
That game 5, he had all the shots he wanted. He took 9 and missed all of them shit.
Now, what's your thoughts about Team USA losing to France, their first official game?
I could see it. France gave them trouble in the World Cup 2 years ago.
And I ain't gonna lie though, Evan Fournier said it perfectly, and it's my thought on the whole USA team. They're better individually, but they can be beaten as a team.
Because there's a lot of guys that haven't been a role player since they was in elementary school. And they built this team horribly. You know what it is? I feel like they lost touch. Remember when they were losing, when they lost in 2004, they were able to call all the big guns like, yo, we getting our ass buzzed. That means y'all win. This is a legacy game. Y'all getting all the money, all the praise, gold medals, blah, blah, blah. They was sending out of the top 20 at least 10, 11 guys, and then like one flyer guy that they wanted to just be there.
And then at the time, the basketball around the world wasn't as prominent as it is now.
You had Spain, you had Argentina. Those were the 2 teams. Now you got France. Spain is coming down, but they still a challenge.
You got Australia. You got France. You got Nigeria's coming up now.
Nigeria. These are places that have NBA players in their starting lineup.
Yep.
And I think too they were up with the last 4 minutes, but then it's like, all right, you got a bunch of chefs in the kitchen. What's the play? You got a great coach. You got a great coaching staff. You got great players. What's the play? France, like in the European leagues, all these players in the NBA that are from other countries, they go back home and play in these tournaments every summer. So they know the system. Like they're playing with these guys every year. Whereas the U.S., they just put a mishmash of guys together and give them like less than a month to train. It's like, all right, let's figure it out.
That's a fact.
Basketball don't change, but international basketball is what you'll probably more likely to see in high school. You're going to have the 2 true bigs. Like that's what killed them. They only have Kevin Love on this, and not Kevin Love.
JaVale McGee.
They got McGee who gets McGee gets handled by regular NBA players.
Oh, don't do that to my boy.
No, he's good, but I'm saying
3-time champion.
He is, but I'm saying he doesn't play big minutes for a reason in the main NBA. And then Bam, he's a 6'8" center.
Now, what you thought about the whole exchange between him and KD?
That's hilarious. That's because he broke the rules. If I made the shot, give me the ball. Don't try to get the nice ball and give me the ball. You saw what I shot with. I like this side of KD. KD just like being able to make fun of people and be himself and being comfortable in his own skin is dope.
And they pranked him too with the happy birthday stuff. Like, I like that though.
But then I'm more concerned with them because if they lose another game in group play, they probably don't get a medal, and then that's embarrassing. And it's like, and it's not like 2004. We just sent random like it's KD, it's Dame. You got a top 3-point guard, the number 1 scoring like weapon in the NBA. Bam is a great two-way force. Jason Tatum is another great scoring force.
I mean, but even though if the other countries better not say shit about America, because they still can't beat us in ball. But they can hold my whole head on that topic. They still can't beat us in ball.
France is we're 0-2 in our last 2 games against France. France made us.
But I guarantee you, if we put our best hitters against their best hitters, we're washing them.
Of course, but our best hitters don't want to go no more. LeBron not trying to do this shit.
Oh, of course. Carmelo not trying to do it because you feel me. After that, they was calling him the Olympic winner.
Olympic Melo.
Yeah.
Like Carmelo's not doing that.
But I just hope these other countries understand where they at in the baseball tier. Y'all still trash, Molo America. I don't care if y'all beat us in the Olympics. We just didn't put a proper team and we just sent out some bullshit out
Other
there.
countries send their best. Like Australia's missing Ben Simmons. They had him. That had to be an even bigger problem.
Oh, yeah. What? They do not want Ben Simmons. He's going to be hitting brick from brick over here. Because if Ben Simmons did good on the Australian team, get him out. Get him out of the whole NBA league. Because I'm like, bro.
International basketball is different. Like, you can knock the ball. Once they hit the rim, you can knock the ball off the basket. It's a different ball. So you might be a 40% shooter in America. You go there, you might be 20, or you might be a 30% shooter here. You might be a 50% shooter over there. You feel me? So it's a different game, different rules. You could just sit in a guy like Rudy Gobert could just guard the rim. This is mad basketball terminology. So we're gonna move on because some people don't want to hear a sports podcast.
They better be happy with everything they got over here, though. You feel me? This might not go well, but yo. You know what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks about, how we trying to switch it up, and shit on guys a little bit more. You feel me?
We have our first candidate to be shit on.
Oh, Safari, man, we got a shit on you, bro.
Safari Minaj.
Yep, Safari Minaj.
Damn, nah, that's peak little boy syndrome,
son. I was sitting here staying quiet because you had your birthday and your wife just literally said that she's still in the hospital with your kid, and I just saw a video of you on your birthday laughing up with your friends. I don't even know, bro. It started off, bro, because I just...
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. He was married to Erica Mena. They had one baby. She just had their second. Was it a boy? Is it a boy?
Yeah, I think it's a boy.
So he just had their second baby boy. And Safari, if you've been watching Love and Hip Hop, I thought it was just a storyline of him being a shitty guy. Like, she told him she was having a baby. Boy was like, I don't want that. I don't want extra kid. Like, he was hurt that she was having a kid. And rode off on his dirt bike. He went to Jamaica for his birthday while the baby was born a little bit early. I don't think there's been any mention of the baby. No.
I want to play this clip of how stupid homie sound real quick because this shit pisses me off.
I think marriage just makes everything way more technical.
Wow.
It does. I feel like when you get to live as like boyfriend and girlfriend, like grown man, real talk. I know it may sound childish and immature, but it's like marriage, I just feel like it just makes everything just way more serious than what it needs to be. Everything. Going to the supermarket, take out the garbage, just everything is way more serious. And I know there's some people who like, oh, I've been married for 20, 30 years and this, that, and the third. Like, all right, cool, that's great, that's y'all. We live in a different era now. And especially with this era of social media and people letting it really like affect what they do on the daily, like it's not the same as, especially being in the public eye. There's people like, yeah, I've been married for 20, 30 years, but
he got some points with that, but overall, bro, it is serious.
It's like he's copping out because he doesn't want something anymore, but he's showing his ass about it. Like when you first got with Erica Mena, that was like his second high profile relationship,
and he was chasing her down. And I understand when women talk about, yo, you was literally beating down my phone to get with me, and now you got me, and now you don't know how to appreciate me
and protect her.
And I'm just like, bro, you was literally on her head case for her. You finally got her. You realize, like, oh, it might not be what you think it is. Instead of communicating with that, you string her along. And now you have a whole family and marriage. And now you over here just being a dick white right now.
It's crazy because it's like, yo, I feel like he don't see nothing wrong with this. Like, and again,
because he's laughing. He's laughing at all the memes about him and all that. He thinks it's entertaining.
And he's one of those people that think all attention is good attention. Remember, what do we know Safari as? He was Nicki Minaj's boyfriend, hype man, cuckold. And
don't do that.
But think about it.
Cuckold. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Because when Drake and Lil Wayne was saying all that shit about Nicki Minaj, I don't want to know how the hell he felt. Like, yo, I'm digging. This is my girlfriend. Y'all talking about fucking my girlfriend.
And it's like, yo, like that's like cuckold anyway. And it's just like, it's embarrassing because it's like, there's really niggas that do shit like that. I'm gonna get you pregnant and I'm gonna go ghost on you. Like, what? Man, that's your wife. You made a commitment to her. Like, again, granted, if you did that shit out of just trying to shut her up, like, that's corny as well. But at the same point, it's like, yo, my God, she's pregnant. She's in the ICU with your kid.
And you in Jamaica.
And this is on the internet. Like, your kid is going to see this one day. Your children will know that you were this kind of scummy guy. And it's like, you're doing all this shit for clout. Like, yo, I don't even know where you getting your bread from, first of all. Like,
from OnlyFans. That's what, they was the OnlyFans couple right there. They was making bands off of OnlyFans, both of them.
I'm just saying, like, yo, it's corny because I'm like, you were trying to make it as a music. You want to be taken serious as an artist. You want to be taken serious as a man. And it's like, you continuously make yourself the butt of these jokes and at this woman's expense. Like, not saying Erica Mendez is saying or nothing, but yo, that's a woman that chose to love you, chose to have your children. Like, y'all was committed. Y'all was doing all this business together.
And marriage is hard. We never, we've been preaching that over and over. Like, yo,
any relationship is hard. That's the crazy. Yeah. And you made the ultimate commitment.
And you don't just back out as soon as y'all have a disagreement and everything. Because I'm not, I don't know Erica Mena, but judging from her reality, personality, I could tell she's not the most easiest person to communicate with. But still, you made that commitment and you have to communicate.
100%.
And you have to sit here. She's in the ICU with your son and you're in Jamaica. I just don't get how you don't think, if it's your birthday, I don't care. You should be in the hospital celebrating your birthday with your wife in the ICU.
Something. But I don't know, man. I don't got time for clown nigga shit, but that is supremely...
So that's our edition of, niggas ain't shit for you girls. We give the same equal treatment.
We gotta play the Doja Cat song. Niggas ain't shit. Gotta play that every time.
But on to a lot of news though. The Kevin Hart versus Nick Cannon prank wars, bro.
Don't get no fucking ideas. I'll shoot you.
So it started off with Nick Cannon giving Kevin Hart a llama for his birthday.
That's a fire ass gift. If you watch The Emperor's New Groove, you know that's a fire ass gift. I'm naming the llama Cusco.
And he basically is there, don't even know what the hell to do with the llama, so he just ended up taking a walk. But Kevin got back at Nick Cannon by putting his actual number in the billboard.
He put it in like 3 major cities.
Yeah, in Atlanta, New York, and Cali. Like if you need help with fatherhood, call this number. And you know what? His phone was blowing up.
Nick didn't know. Nick is a good sport because I would have put my shit on. I would have changed my number. Like, I need a new phone. I need a new phone.
That's a fact because I'm just like, bro. But I ain't gonna lie. I kind of like these little rich prank wars. They should do something with it, though. I fuck with it crazy.
I feel like this is all bleeding because they got Real Husbands of Hollywood coming back. So I feel like this is all...
Wait, it's coming back?
Look at you little fangirl. Yes, it's coming back.
Nah, that's one of my favorite TV shows,
that
bro.
shit was funny.
Yo, because it was just like... Yo, just Kevin Hart over here beefing with Robin Thicke. I'm like, bro, but that's the weirdest beef ever during that whole show.
But I feel like it's all part of that too. But I'm telling you, I should have called Nick Cannon, my guy. That's my mother.
Nah, he's still answering phones, bro. He answering phone at 4 in the morning.
I see that shit. My man woke up like, yo.
And you know what we should do? Yo, send an Apple cash request. You feel me?
Yo, Nick. Yo, my lights gonna get cut off, bro. What's up?
Yo, bro, don't ignore me, bro. I know your number, bro. Don't do that to him.
Come on, name. I'll change my name to whatever Cannon you want. Peace, God, Cannon.
So I'm waiting to see the next addition to this little prank wars, though.
Nick going OD.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
I'm making fun of Las Vegas and said, I'm sorry. When he got extorted, I'm ODing. I'm sorry. I'm violating.
Oh man, you gonna bring up the car accident?
I'm violating. Fuck it. Oh, you gave my personal number out, nigga. Oh, it's cool. Say less.
Talking about fatherhood over here.
That shit was fun. That nigga has been popping out babies like chia pets.
Oh, that's a big fact. Big fact. But quick,
just a moment.
Alright, you know what we here for. You know what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Toxic.
Baby.
Hey, the toxic service announcement.
Toxic service announcement. Please make sure to put the children to sleep. Put on your seatbelt. It's time for the ride. Let's go.
Yes. We got 3 for y'all this week. And also, please send y'all toxic questions y'all want us to review at Thismightnotgowell. And at Thismightnotgowell@gmail.com. But we got 2 videos from No Jumper. We're gonna go with the first one because the first one's a little crazy. And this brought up a question I wanted to ask.
It's time to bash women. Go ahead, bro.
Oh man, don't do this. Here it goes.
Well, I used to be a gang girl. I used to do gang parties, and I would
hang out
dudes at night. So I probably
hung out
like 500 dudes, but they were mostly black. Well, I used.
So, if you didn't watch the new Adam 22 interview with this lovely lady, Kazumi, yes, she needs to talk about her past and what she used to do with the guys that she hung out with.
She was at sex parties and she was the gangbang girl.
If you didn't hear, because they had to
mute it out,
for kids and whatnot. But it brought me a question like, yo, what would you do if you find out about your shorty past?
Like you just been with her for years and you find out she used to be a porn star or something.
Yeah, or like you find out she was one of them gangbang girls. Like she said she was with 500 dudes. Like she'd been with like 50 dudes a night. Not a night, but
in an outing.
Yeah, in an outing or so, like close to that number. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's gonna sound bad, but
just don't tell me. Just
don't tell me and keep it low. Do not let nobody tell me about this.
As you come on this podcast talking that bullshit, and I ain't know. I'm looking at you real time.
Yo, because you don't really ask about, like, fellas, you already know once you get past a certain age, you don't want to ask your girl about her past like that. Just like, yo, just tell me if you fuck somebody.
What do I need to know?
Yeah, what I need to know. Like, whoever that I know that you mess with, that's what you gotta let me know. But a gangbang girl, bro, that shit crazy.
I'd rather not know. I just like to think you just a freak. It's old for me. Let me live in my fantasy.
It's now you with your shorty, right? And then she meet with her friends and be like, yeah, remember the parties we used to go back there? Yeah, remember Todd?
Shit go left because they look at you and they make that face like they start drinking extra hard or something.
And they be like, oh yeah, remember when we was just us two with 20 guys that night?
The girls wouldn't say that shit in front of their man. They wouldn't do that. I don't think.
If you just caught wind of it. If you was in the room and she was in the living room and she didn't know you was home and she said,
nah, you gotta be smooth. You gotta like take it in and let them talk about it. Then when it's time before you go to bed, like, yo, so what you mean 20 guys? Like, what y'all doing? Y'all playing checkers? Like, what's happening? Like, let me know.
I don't know what I would do because I don't ask. I go off the stance of don't ask, don't tell. To save me, because I know how I could be in my head sometimes, especially when I hear, because then I'm going to ask for details and it's going to make it worse and it's going to be just going down a deep abyss. A gangbang girl, though?
I mean, that's like if your girl was a porn star. Like, how would you feel? You found out. Like, she ain't tell you. Like, I did a little porn. Just a little porn. Just a little porn. I had a little OnlyFans for like 6 months.
I had a smidget face.
Remember your birthday trip? You had ever wonder how I funded that and asked for a dime? Oh. Because I was working from home with no job.
Oh, no, don't tell me that.
I'm just wondering. I don't know. I said before I could date an OnlyFans girl, but it got depends on what kind of content you're putting out.
That's a fact.
If you a porn star, I don't know if I'm that mature yet.
But I have to know that you was a porn star before
I can't find out. Like, I can't be on one of my personal excursions when you at the grocery store. And I'm like, I know them titties. Wait a minute. Hold the fuck
up. That's a fact. Because I'm like, yo, if anything that you did in the past, I got to know it towards the beginning so I can accept it. Like, you don't want to find out because now I like you now. I love you, bitch. And now I can't just leave you now.
Yeah, kind of like,
I'm like, God damn, now she dope as shit. Now I got to break up with her because she did 500 dicks out here. Like, come on now,
bro. Damn. Yeah, what if you love her? What if you love her? You love her. You love her. Like, yes, you are.
But 500 dicks is crazy though, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it's gay. It was not even like, okay, I can understand. Okay, this might sound crazy. If you had 500 bodies, separate bodies, whatever, you lived a long life, whatnot.
You had a great year. I had a great 2 years.
2 years. 500 bodies in 2 years. That's crazy.
You had a great 2 years run.
But when you hear gangbang, like you went to a party and got gangbanged by multiple dudes, 50 dudes in one night. That's different though. Like, I understand. I know ladies gonna be talking about, oh, it's her body, all that good pro feminist stuff. I'm
just never asking whose pussy this is again when I'm hitting it.
That's a fact. You just gotta know it's your turn, Papo. It's your turn, Capo. It's your turn. It's your turn.
Like, you know, it's yours. I don't do good with stories, baby. Let's move on.
Got too much graffiti on that wall to even put your name, put your tag on there, bro.
I'm about to say.
Because it's like, bro, I don't mind the body counts. Like, if you got you know, you moved, whatnot. You fuck with a couple shows, momos, and all that around
ran
here.
through a couple D9 lines. I understand you was a fangirl. It happens. I said it out loud. My fault. I'm on 6 mimosas. Sorry, y'all. My bad. No.
But when I hear how you acquire those bodies, now I have to ask for details, and I know I'm gonna hurt myself. I'm just asking that detail.
Nah, you know the question you always gotta ask. All right. Do you sucking dick?
Yo, bro, 500 bodies you sucking dick. Like, and you can't even ask her, yo, if my dick the biggest. You can't even ask that insecure question.
She don't know.
Because you know damn well with that large sample size, she must have some Godzilla dicks out there in one of those shits.
She must have the best vagina in the world. I'm not going to front. I talk a big game, but if the shit fired, I'm going to cry about it in the car.
That's why I'm saying, because I'm like, if I'm already emotionally invested in you, because it gets hard for me to emotionally invest in someone. So, but if I already emotionally invest in you,
nigga better never say hi to me outside, because now I got to fight him.
That's a fact.
How the fuck you
I'm
know
gonna
her?
be defensive now. I'm gonna be just like, yo, why he looking at you like that? That's one of the niggas that fucked you.
Hey, my man, come here. Let me see your phone real quick. What, nigga? You was at this party? Oh, nah, you fucked her. You don't remember her? How you, babe, stick your tongue out. Say, look, you don't know?
Oh man, all right.
Well, if Shorty was just a porn star, I mean, hey, as long as you told me, I can't.
That's what I'm saying, because I already accepted it. But if you just find that out, the more so the question is finding out your shorty passed while y'all already in deep in the relationship. That's the thing that worries me the most. It's kind of like, bro, you should have told me this so I can mentally prepare this, like, from the get-go. But
I would have just made you another body on my phone. Like, it's been like, whatever your name was, another body. Not saying that I've done that in the past. Never, I'm telling myself. Carry on.
But yeah, I was just like, yo, finding out certain things about your partner while you're in a relationship, and you realize like, oh, nah, she was really out here. She was doing dick. That shit's the worst. I know, yes, ladies, is our fragile egos, you know, toxic masculinity.
That's all we got.
This is the TSA. This is where we get our shit off. This is a non-judgment.
You entered
zone.
the toxic zone. You stayed this long. It's your fucking fault. I'm sorry.
We telling you how
Mind
we
you
think.
be saying the wild shit. I just co-sign.
You weren't talking about open your mouth.
Nah, all right, realistically speaking, once a man's ego is bruised, a nigga could just say you dropped your phone. What the fuck you looking at her phone for, nigga? Like, your mind is already in a space where it's like, yo, nothing is cool. You're not gonna have fun in nothing you do. So
that's a fact.
You might as well just tell me now. And then once you heal, you just do shit like this. You just have podcasts and you talk shit.
Oh man, that's a fact. Oh man,
shit. So I'm gonna get my shit off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so ladies and fellas, just be open and honest about your past. Like you know if you did some wild shit in your past.
Like, ladies, you found out your man used to be. Well, he had a bisexual. You don't even know. I don't think a guy can be bisexual, but he had a bisexual experience. How you feel?
Or he was one of them little male strippers in the past, and he had all them girls touching his dingaling out there, seductive and you feel me?
I don't know what to say. When y'all first started dating, he was working in the male strip club,
delivering packages. He was pretending to dress up as the UPS man and shit.
How would you feel, nigga? You used to do this. How you know so much?
Come on now, bitches love the chubby niggas on here. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking with you. I don't care.
Cool.
All right, the next topic it's back to No Jumper podcast though. Shout out to them, subscribe to them, and listen to their shit. There's a little debate, and we want to see which one y'all think is right, and we're gonna give our opinion. So here it goes.
Of course, if me and my girl broke up, I would be giving her money for the kid. Of course, I'm going to be giving you money for, you know, until the kid's an adult, until they're done college, whatever it might be. The thing is you want that money without actually having the kid. The thing is, you're the kid in this situation.
Big facts. I'm the baby.
And that's what I think is so toxic for women in general, the mentality that they should just be treated like children, because it's created like a nation of women who just never grow up and are just like forced to just like feed off of rich men. It's just not sustainable. It might feel kind of attractive to you in the short term, but ultimately it's horrible for women. And I feel like most women see that and agree.
What's your thoughts, Slick?
I mean, I think, again, if we look back at historical, I always do this shit, but we look back at like historical trends and like roles that were assigned prior to like probably 1995 or whatever, it was always like the man provides, the woman takes care of the home. And then we kind of got into these like fractured homes in like the 80s and 90s. It was like if the guy stood around or the dude who was raised by a single mother, now he has, he's like, I respect women a little more. I'm going to try to take care of this. Or the woman is like, oh, if they weren't taught to be on that, independent woman, like, yo, find a man, take care of you, whatever. It's like, well, how the fuck does that work? You feel me? Because it's like, I'm not really, as a man, especially with the independent woman movement, I'm not trying to take care of you. I'm trying to baby you. And then as a rich guy, it's like, yo, if they got it, they going to trick. They don't have no game. I don't know rich niggas that can really.
That's a fact.
So they not spitting no game, but it's like, oh, I got money. I'll take care of
you. We saw this video of girls charging niggas for their phone numbers. Like, yo, you want my phone number, you want $150. I'm like, wait, what? Niggas actually paying
even
girls
like
for their phone number?
The whole sugar daddy craze, like, is women, like, there's a whole app, like, girls dead get on the app and get a sugar daddy. Like, I'll give you $1,000 a week or a month if you just respond to my text. Like, nigga, that's not game. You got bread. She's not doing that because she want to. She like, I'm gonna work whatever I got to get what I want. I think the mentality though is definitely shown in a lot more places. Because it's like, even you think about the fly me out, or we going somewhere, if you're not paying for it, I'm not going. Like, that's kid mentality. As a child, it's like, yo, what makes you assume that I want to pay for all that I'm supposed to do these things? You feel me? It's different versus like opening a door, holding a door, voluntarily paying for a date, wanting to take you out. But when you assume that I'm supposed to pay for certain stuff,
yes, when you make it mandatory, and I think that's my, sorry to cut you off. I think that's my biggest problem with that is women making it mandatory for us guys to be financially responsible for.
But all of them don't do that, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah. We're at a position where it's like, I want this, but that is like, it's a fine line. It's the women that they got their own. I don't need your shit, and some of them belittle, So it's like striking that balance, like,
because it's like, yo, because me personally, I don't mind tricking on a woman, but I want it to be on my accord. It's not that I have to talk. If I want to talk to you, I want to take you out, or if I want sex from you, I have to like
provide you something like monetary or like some kind of like reward.
No, that we can do all of that, and then once we having our little thing going, then if I feel like you worth it, I'm gonna drop some bags on you. I'm gonna cop you some gifts. I'm gonna take you somewhere. I'm gonna take you on some trips. And but that's based off my timing.
Yeah, and then I think today is also predicated off what you see. We see a lot of social media shit where it's like, oh, he got this room and then this, and then everyone thinks that those outlier show the signs of affection are, the norm. We've normalized, like, now if you seen there's a shit on Twitter, it was like, oh, vacations is the new first dates. The fuck?
Fuck out of here. What the hell am I going out of the country with you?
I don't even know if I like you yet. Like, what's your breath smell like in the morning? Let me see.
And then y'all don't even want to give it up on the first date too. So it's kind of like, why am I taking you on this trip and whatnot?
But that's the thing. It's like we've gotten to a point where it's like you either like there's three. You got the perfectly balanced, which is probably like a good 60% of the women out there. I'm not going to shit like I say I'm not. You might should have. I'll say
don't make this narrative over here.
It's a good 60% of women that I think are down to earth, and it's like it's little subtle things they want, and it's like, yo, we can come to a compromise on that.
And the big thing. Yo, these women are cap out here. Now, let's get into this. Fuck out of here. Give me a good shot.
I'm gonna just turn my mic off.
Yo, you women are cap, more cap.
We just said 60% are good. What is it?
No, that's a good number because I see women post on their Twitters all the time. They tweet these stuff. Oh yeah, he gotta pay me money. He gotta pay me that. But you got bum ass Tehran still clapping, and you paying for him, and he driving in your Honda with your AKA plates on. Like, what we doing out here? These girls is capping out here on Twitter and Instagram and making these other girls believe this is what's going on and this is the standard, but they're not really living up to the standard that they put out for themselves.
They might just suffer from MCS.
What's MCS?
Main character syndrome. They create a character in their life, and they just that's who they are on Twitter versus who they actually are.
That's what I'm saying, because I'm like, yo, some of y'all, I mean, us guys too, ladies, I ain't gonna lie, us guys cap like we getting a ton of these girls, and we not, and also, okay, we gonna shit on guys for a little bit. Us guys love capping like, yo, it's my drip. I talked to this girl. She just OD feeling me. Like, no, nigga, you was begging for coochie. Nigga, you was over here banging out her phone, harassing her, basically manipulating her in some form of getting the cooch. Like, let's not cap.
Or you presented some false ideology of yourself, and she fell for it.
Yeah.
Good job. You're a great actor.
You was over here capping. You copped the Airbnb, pretending that it was your actual crib. You was over here. You had your designer belt. You was over here rocking your homie's chain, presenting all of this. You was out here taking absolute. You was taking New Amsterdam pineapple vodka and putting it in Ciroc pineapple vodka and finesse it. Now this is a funny video from like the girl from I Love New York, the idiot nigga, the nigga that was like slow, but there was a video. Yeah, it. So, us niggas be capping too. So I don't want to sit here and rag on girls. But one thing I say about girls is y'all be capping on social media and y'all make other girls believe this is the standards and this is what's going on. But y'all don't really live up to the standards that y'all even put on y'all social media like that. So stop it. But continue. I had to let that go off. Sorry, King. I had to let that go off.
That was your rant. They go my buzz. I gotta make a subject mimosa after that one.
But yeah, as far as and this thing about it, like I said before, I just don't like being forced to or being told it's mandatory that I have to financially do things for you. It should be coming from my heart or for my feelings, for my emotions. That let me drop this bag off on her. Let me cop this for her. Let me do this for her. It shouldn't feel like it's already a set standard, because now I'm like, all right, if that's the mandatory and that's the standard, now what's standard for me out of you now? Now we go to the question is sex. Even though sex shouldn't be that way, but now if it's mandatory that I'm doing all this for this, is sex mandatory after I do all of this?
That's an interesting conversation. Not in the Me Too era, but yeah. I see where you're going there. I see what you did, and good one.
Come on now. All right, so this is the last one though. And this is not really toxic, but it's an open question.
Nice talking point.
Yeah. Can you discuss your trauma with your partner?
Oh, you're getting deep. I shouldn't drink this much for this part.
Come on now.
I think it's twofold. I think you can, unless that trauma is directly tied to that partner. And I say that because trauma can be anything. Anything can trigger you, or you could have been in a bad space, and it could be anything can set you up, right?
Of course.
But if it had nothing to do with your partner and you built that kind of trust, you can kind of share that. But if it's like something that happened with you and the partner, like it's like, I feel this way because of X, Y, Z you did. A lot of people have a hard time with taking accountability or understanding or wanting to see how that person feels or how you made that person feel. You feel me? So it's tough because, like, how do I say, damn, you don't feel comfortable wearing crop tops because I made a comment about your stomach, and that's something that you really didn't notice or didn't think about until, you feel me? That's just something like really superficial, but something I did. And then you tell me that, I'm like, yo, I was just joking. You get real defensive, but it's like, yo, so a lot of people listen to respond, but don't listen to understand.
Yep.
And I think that's something that's why I feel like it's so like taboo, because it's not easy to open up and share how you really feel, male or female. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also a problem where it's like, yo, not only do I have to be home and share how I feel, I also have to at some point probably be honest with you and tell you, like, yo, a lot of this comes from what's going on with us. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people aren't programmed to deal with that.
And a lot of people do not want to be at fault. A lot of people don't want to be, I'm the reason. It's my actions that's making you do.
And then it's like, it becomes a fight. Like, yo, I mean, that's on you. How the fuck you gonna feel that way and put that shit on me? It becomes real bad, real dark.
And it comes tit for tat now, because now, if saying you do something, now is a over exact. Now she's analyzing.
I can't fucking joke with you. Like, so
you saying, hey, I made you feel this way, but you just said that, and now I feel this type of way. Yeah, and it's like now the whole relationship is
it's like, it's blemish. It's a stain, because it's a massive stain. Something that probably can't be clean. It's like, yo, damn, I can't. Like, in the past, I've talked to women and something's come up. It's like, damn, this is probably something that could have been so easy to talk about, but because you're defensive, because you don't know how to feel, because you don't know how to address it, nobody teaches you these things. Mm-hmm. You don't really get the opportunity to really fix certain situations or just deal with them, like resolve them and move forward.
In my opinion, I already deal with being vulnerable already, just in all aspect of life. So now being vulnerable with my partner, I it's a risk. It's a gamble. I don't mind being vulnerable or sharing my trauma with my person, but to be honest with you, and maybe shout out to my therapist, Dr. Asia Jones, go check her out. It's just, you realize you just have to be willing to gamble and bet on that person. You gotta be what can I say? A good sense of character, like have a good sense of character, like to know like this person might not like. It's like violate you. It's like throw it in your face.
I think I pay attention to like how empathetic they are. Because I feel like when a person is incapable of empathy, when they're directly involved in a situation, you really can like understand how things would go. Because like I've seen people be wrong, and they've shown sympathy to other people, but when it comes to them, they can't enter that mode until they like are far enough removed from it. I think a lot of that is like predicated on fear, like because he's like, yo, if I take ownership, or if I deal with something, or like try to that was on me.
And then I have to deal with my demons.
I have to reveal my demons, and there's also a chance to like, yo, this person might leave. You feel me? So I think that people don't like putting themselves in those positions
because we all want to be our best version to the person that we love.
But we also want to be comfortable, and a lot of times our comfort is predicated on a lot of the bullshit we built up in these personas.
That was a good one.
I try.
Come on now.
You killed my buzz. I'm drinking again after this.
But yeah, so I mean, like, it just being open, sharing your trauma with your partner. It just gotta take a gamble and see what it is. And I think you have to. If you're really thinking this is the partner that you're going to be with for the rest of your life, type of thing, you have to be. You just have to share your trauma. Whether if it's outside or with them. You just have to. I don't know. You got to do it at your own pace. Maybe start out small. I'm a big fan of starting out small and kind of like building it up, because I know a lot of people don't handle like big drama, especially if it includes them right off the bat. Like, oh, when you such and such, that made me feel this. It made me do this to you. Like they automatically start getting defensive. So now that's why I like the process of starting out small and then building it up. Wow, you can start understanding me more, and then now we can have a better conversation instead of just laying it on you thick about the biggest trauma.
100%. I agree with that.
But yeah, so even if you're not always get our toxic shit off, we give y'all some good advice over here. So just be open, be vulnerable, go seek some therapy, and couples therapy too. Sometimes it's better to have a stranger there to talk about your issues with your partner instead of just talking with your partner by yourselves.
Buffers are good.
Yep, and then also have a good mediator that doesn't know y'all, so it doesn't really have the true sides. Because when y'all start bringing families and friends, then it could be the whole bias thing. So just be vulnerable, guys. Just take your time and just understand that marriages and relationships and even friendships and all that is a work in progress. It's what you need to willing to communicate and what you're willing to listen to.
Big facts, big facts.
All right, so this is the end of the podcast. You feel me? Please follow us on all social media at Thismightnotgowell. If you have any branding deals, business opportunity, email us at Thismightnotgowell@gmail.com. I'm your host, BBZ Practice Zone.
It's your boy, Senor Slick. We are out. Love you. Love you.